way.
All right.
Damon spoke after you and talked about how the team needed to be willing to get dirty and grind on defense, and he was committed and dedicated to it. It looks like tonight that carried over. So my question then is, have the problems on defense been this season because the team hasn't been as committed as it has been the past two nights?
Look, I'm not going to go into the first 60 games. We had a very good defensive game last night. We had a really good first half defensively. And part of that was because we didn't turn the ball over. We played good offense, kept them out of transition. Obviously, the third quarter, we had turnovers. They got in transition. So that's those two guys go hand in hand. But I was really pleased with our effort last night in Indiana. And like I said, I thought the first half tonight was we were able to build on that.
So why have they given more effort tonight than in the last two nights than the previous?
I'll tell you what, let's just be happy with the way we played tonight, the way we played last night, and we got Brooklyn on Friday.
Next question is coming from Casey Holdahl with Trailblazers.com.
Terry, since I posed it to you pregame, I'll ask it to you now. Now, this is just regular tone of voice. If it's loud there, that's the microphone, because this is just regular old talking. What did you think about the way that your guards in particular dealt with the Grizzlies guards, particularly on the defensive end?
I thought our guards were very good, but with Memphis, the way they play, obviously Morant's very important. I thought we did a good job with our pick and roll coverages. We rebound the ball well. To me, it's a five-man defense, so everybody has to do their jobs. I thought the guards worked on the ball. I thought our bigs did what they were supposed to do in their coverages. When we went to a different lineup, we got into our switches. So we did a good job with that. So, for me, the first half was about team defense, and that includes transition defense.
Jason Quick with The Athletic.
Hey, Coach, it looked like you had a much tighter rotation today, too. Is that something that you're going to kind of lean on here down the stretch, is going with your 5-7 top guys?
I don't know. I know that tonight I wanted to get Rondé in when Morant was still in the game. But I think Dame, CJ, and Norman, maximizing their minutes. They played, I think, about 19. They each played about 19 in the first half. So maximizing them. I think otherwise Ennis was a little down just because of matchups. But I think it's going to be night to night. But I do think that we'll rely on Dame, CJ, and Norman for sure.
Have you been able to sense a sense of urgency from your guys recently?
Well, I guess what you mean by recently, obviously last night was a very good win for us. And we, took care of business last night. We took care of business tonight. As I said before, the last couple of weeks, we've lost a lot of close games. And I think that kind of clouds the narrative a little bit, because we were on a losing streak, even though, we lost so many close games. It felt like we weren't playing well, but we weren't playing as bad as the losing streak indicated. So that being said, I think tonight and last night showed that we were playing the way we need to play.
Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest.
So let me get this straight. You didn't think you were playing poorly against Memphis, the two home games, but it didn't it look that way to you? I mean, they were outplaying you in several areas. I don't understand.
Well, in game one, it came down to last possession, and I thought game one was back and forth. Obviously, they got it out in transition, but I thought the game was back and forth. Game two, they got a big lead. We came back and made it a one possession game. So, if you look at, they did play well. I thought we played much better tonight than the first two games, but you could argue that the second game, they did get a big lead and we had to come from behind. Game one, I thought, was close most of the way.
Was there an event? Has there been anything before this trip that has kind of caused an uptick in energy or effort or what we've seen defensively? Can you put your finger on anything like that?
No, other than the fact that we know it was frustrating losing 5 in a row. We knew how important these games were, and we've got a tough schedule ahead of us. And I think I've always trusted the character of our guys. They compete, and I don't think it was one thing. It was nothing that anybody said or did, but I do trust the character of our team, and we came out and played.
Jamie Hudson, NBC Sports Northwest.
Coach, was there an emphasis to get Norman going early? And then how do you think he responded after going scoreless last night?
Well, I think last night was obviously is an anomaly for him to go scoreless. And I think he came out ready to play. We did call some plays for him, but I think you got to give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Joe Becker with K2. Joe, you're muted.
Okay.
Come on, Joe. You do that every time.
Sorry. I've got to unmute and I keep forgetting. I apologize. Terry, you guys have a better record on the road than you do at home. And I know it's been a different year, but now that the season's getting toward the end, can you explain that? How it seems to work out? Or do you think you guys were just due for a road trip to get away from home for a while?
Actually, I think I haven't checked it in a while, but there were many teams that had better road records than home records, and the home team is not winning as much. I don't know what the numbers are, but as of whenever I last checked, the home team is not winning at the same rate it normally does. So I think that comes all with the type of season this is, with the COVID and home court advantage and traveling. And I mean, there's so many things to take into account. So I think it's difficult to put a finger on home court advantage and records on the road and records at home. I think it's just one of those things.
As a follow-up to that, with your team, losing so many close games at home, do you think that maybe it helped the camaraderie on the team to get out away from Portland for a while and have a couple of games and come together?
Well, after 2 games, it seems like it. I don't know. It's, as I said, with the close losses is very frustrating. Maybe a change of venue did do us well. We'll see. We got some tough games coming up. The one thing I think someone asked me this last night, but it's difficult. The camaraderie on the road is different these days than in the past because of the restrictions that we have to adhere to. So you can't do some of the things that you might do either individually or collectively on the road. But answer your question, I think building on these 2 wins on the road, I think that will help with it for sure.
Crystal Saltis, Sportine.
Coach, what were the factors that made you so successful on those 2 games in Indiana and tonight?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I thought our defense at the end of the second quarter and most of the third quarter in Indiana, and then the way we defended in the first half tonight, combined with some very good offense. As I mentioned, those 2 go hand in hand. But if I had to point to one thing, it was our defense in the third quarter in Indiana, and our defense in the first half tonight.
Going back to Jason Quick with The Athletic.
Coach, did you guys reference the comments made by Dylan Brooks after last game at all, leading into this game?
What comments were those?
I think along the lines of that they wanted to sweep you guys.
I think our players knew about it, yeah.